Let me welcome on board Mr. Satyanarayana Chava, the founder and CEO, joining in on the show right now. Mr. Chava, great to have you on ET Now. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Given your guidance for the first half of the fiscal with an EBITDA margin of 14.5%, elaborate the factors that you think are, driving this target ask rate of approximately 25%.
Good morning. As we have indicated in previous earning calls, we expected our H1 is going to be softer and H2 is going to be good. For the H1, we did around 15% EBITDA, and in yesterday call also we reiterated that our EBITDA for the entire year will be around 20%. So, which means that our Q3 and Q4 are looking good, especially the ARV APIs and formulation is going to pick up, and non-ARV sales, both APIs and formulation also pick up. Most significantly, our order book and delivery schedules for our CDMO late-stage projects are scheduled in Q4. So we have good visibility now on the second half of this financial year, and we are hopeful and confident to achieve around 20% EBITDA for the entire FY25.
Okay. Has the CDMO business settled now? Do you think incrementally things would only improve for the CDMO business?
Actually, it is not settled. We expect it will continue to grow. So we did have some growth recorded in compared to Q1 to Q2, and Q2 to Q3 also we see improvement, and Q4 is going to be very good. And we expect the several projects will go into in delivery mode. So if you look at our CDMO, currently we have about 700-800 crore regular sales, and the remaining are validation quantities or phase 3 quantities. That base number is going to go up by end of this year. That's where we are very confident things are going to be better for us in CDMO. But also there is a good growth prospects in the non-ARV APIs as well as the formulations.
Okay. Right. You just flagged off, Mr. Chava, your API business. Tell me a little bit more about it. What are the strategies currently in place as to how you're going to scale up API as a segment?
See, in the API segment, we have a strong leadership position in HIV APIs and also oncology APIs. And other than these two, we have APIs where we have IP or scale, some advantage over others. We identified a few therapy areas, and we are building our pipeline there. We have filed our first DMF in non-ARV, non-onco space. Maybe in the next couple of quarters, you will see a lot of new APIs will be developed, which are going to be, India never focused on those APIs. So we are focusing on two segments, and we will give you more details in the due course.
But in terms of this price erosion which the generic industry saw, whether it is API or whether it is CDMO, whether it is oral generic or injectables, do you see that the bottom is in place and incrementally things will improve 2-3% every quarter?
In the ARV space, I don't expect price will go up. It will stabilize. As we indicated to our investors multiple times, we are not expecting growth in ARV, both APIs and formulation. We expect it will be give or take 100 crores at 2,500 crores level. And our growth will come from non-ARV APIs, non-ARV formulations. If you look at our journey so far, ARVs used to contribute 85% of our revenue. Now it is 50%. We haven't degrown in ARVs, but we have grown in other segments so that the actual contribution coming from ARVs is coming down. So we expect to continue the same trend, and non-ARV APIs and formulations will drive our generic
growth. Okay. Could you also tell us that for FY25, how much of your triggers will come from new capacity expansion? How much of your business triggers will come from some US FDA pending plant approvals which you are expecting?
Nothing.
Nothing. So no triggers will come?
So we have all our plants approved very recently. no scheduled FDA inspections coming from. So this year, as you have seen, we have gone through 6 regulatory inspections, and most recent one was US FDA inspection for our API plant in Hyderabad with no observations. So if you are expecting orders and you are buying raw materials and you deliver stellar growth in H2, it's not going to happen. So we have orders, we have production going on. We don't see any challenges. Our sales depending on new POs or new inspections.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for wonderfully outlining the way forward for Laurus Lab going forward.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.